Tired of the sports video game industry and all its microtransaction glory? Looking for a sports game where you balance strategy both on and off the field? Have I got the game for you? Look no further than Football Tactics and Glory. But wait, Rio, why are you making this video? Don't you have an entire series on Football Tactics and Glory already? Right you are, and I highly recommend checking out my Let's Play of the game, but in celebration of the upcoming console release of the game, I wanted to do an actual scripted video on why I find this game enjoyable and why I think it should get more attention. So buckle up and let's get started with some background for the game itself. Football Tactics and Glory is a turn-based strategy football game, soccer if you reside in the US, and is developed by CommRio Team and published by CommRio Team and Toplitz Productions. The game first came out in early access for Steam in 2015, and it's been quite a journey to get to this point. Updates to virtually every single system in the game occurred in between that initial release and the official release, but it finally happened in June of 2018. The team wasn't done though, because a month later an announcement went up that the game would be coming to consoles. It's been a long wait to lead us to this moment, but we are almost there. But CommRio Team wasn't just sitting around in the meantime. Throughout the intervening time, additional updates have happened to change skills, alter the penalty shot system, and most recently add a more intensive tutorial system called the coaching license. All excellent additions to an already fantastic game. How does the game work though? The very first aspect that makes Football Tactics and Glory a very different football game from games such as Pro Evolution and FIFA, beyond simply not having licensing agreements with football clubs, is that this game is a turn-based number-rolling strategy game. It has been compared to XCOM since its system is similar, although with far lower stakes. The system gives a set number of actions for each match that teams will perform, and the teams take it in turns to do 3 actions as they try to score and prevent the other team from scoring. You can choose between matches lasting 45, 60, and 90 moves depending on how long you want the games to last. But even on 90 actions, the games last between 12 to 15 minutes, so this game is very easy to pick up and play a match quickly. Games and seasons then can pass in the blink of an eye, and FTG manages to do this without sacrificing the management of the club that players like me enjoy so much. At the beginning of the game, you start with your team down in the lowest level of the 5-tier nationwide league, usually titled the Amateur League. It is your goal to manage this team over the seasons to reach the top league of the nation, or set your own goal. There are many different nations to choose from for your league, and even more options for your team, including the ability to create your own team if the team you want isn't among the default ones in the game. Due to the integration of Steam Workshop, if you're getting the PC version at least, you can also edit leagues, teams, and players yourself to recreate real life or construct your own fictional football universe. The options and creativity you can bring to the game is a wonderful addition. To start your journey towards the Premier League though, it's important to understand your players and how you will coach them to victory. The players are the most important part of the game. Each one of them has a position and set of skills that will help your team out in certain circumstances. The players generally fall into 4 categories: forwards, midfielders, defenders, and goalkeepers. And among the first 3 categories, there are more specific positions with traits. For instance, for the forwards, there are universal forwards, central forwards, and wing forwards. Universal forwards' main advantage is the ability to move 2 spaces without the ball, letting them set up in the box for easy chances on goal. Central forwards move closer to the goal each turn if there is an open space in front of them, and have a bonus to head play, allowing them to do better on crosses. Wing forwards have the special ability break-in, where if they get to the corner, they can break into the box without using an action, and get a bonus to get past the defenders standing in their way. Each position has its advantages, and you really can win with any of them. Adjusting your strategy to fit your players is a huge part of the strategic depth of this game. As you start getting younger players though, without classes, you get to pick what position or role you want to develop them into as you try to shore up team weaknesses or improve strengths. In-game though, there is one other aspect certain players have that will be vitally important in your path to victory, and that is skills. Players with a class get the chance to train up these skills. Each player gets a choice of 3 different skills to choose from, with the training time depending on the player's propensity for the skill. As I said, these skills are extremely important. Why? because a successful skill used against an opposing player will not use up an action. So instead of the 3 actions you started with, you get to use 4, 5, maybe even 6 actions in a turn, massively increasing your chances of success. One example of this could be a defender with slide tackle takes the ball from a forward, passes to a midfielder with long pass, who uses long pass to get a pass past a defender to a forward, who uses rainbow feint to move past the defender on them, giving them a shot on goal. In that scenario, 3 skills paired together to give the forward a chance at goal, and the team made 4 actions for the price of 1. However, as you may have noticed, each player has a number next to them that rolls with each action, which determines whether the action succeeds. This system remains in place for pretty much every action, skilled or not, in the game, but only a successful use of a skill will give an extra action after completion. There are a few skills that just grant extra abilities rather than a chance for additional actions such as interception or head play. These are generally called traits by the game, but these skills are useful in other situations. Lastly, skills can be trained up to give additional chances for success. A level 3 long pass has 3 rolls to succeed instead of just 1 for a level 1 long pass. Skills are an amazing part of the game, adding much more to the strategic depth of each match. Before you even get onto the pitch though, you have the management parts of the game to work with. This includes club-wide decisions such as upgrading the stadium and youth academy, hiring coaches using the glory currency, buying and selling players or extending contracts, and of course, viewing stats, previewing opponents, and checking out league standings. The game has engaging management without ever overwhelming you with too much information, because the real focus is in the actual matches themselves, but certain decisions made outside of a match will have a major impact on the games being played. The beauty of Football Tactics and Glory is the simplicity of learning the general systems of the game, leading into the complexity and depth of how those systems integrate together into a delightful experience. Each game presents a new challenge, and the rise and fall of teams means you've always got a new opponent to plan against the next season. The game uses the far superior European model of relegation and promotion, which adds to my fun with the game. This game is endlessly replayable as each new team, new league, and even new player offers a unique experience. On the presentation front, the game is quite detailed for an indie title. However, it is clear that the biggest part of the budget was put into animations, which are smooth and fun to watch, so kudos to that. The players have detailed faces, but since you look at them from a top-down view, that won't help distinguish them most of the time. The music is nicely tuned to the game as well, but since there are copyright issues with the music, it is not playing in the background of this video. The strength of the game is in the gameplay, but the visuals help enhance that feeling of triumph when your players execute an amazing play. The final aspect of the game that I want to note is the amazing community and developers behind this game. I have had the incredible opportunity to engage with them, and even without that connection, it's easy to see how dedicated the team is to this game. There have been many free updates and improvements to the game since launch, all made to improve the player's experience. I want to extend my gratitude to this team for continuing to refine and improve the game, and I look forward to what they do next for either DLC or FTG2. This is one of those games that the premise sounds like it wouldn't work, but having played the game now, I can say for certain that it nailed the execution of the idea, and this is why it is important for experimental games to be made. It won't always work out, but sometimes with a good idea and a talented group of developers, you can produce something special, such as Football Tactics and Glory. You don't need to be a football or even a sports fan to enjoy this game because the strategy is an appealing challenge to any strategy game enthusiast. If you are a football or sports fan though, that probably will aid in your enjoyment of this title, and I encourage you to give the game a try, either on PC or the soon-to-be-released console edition. Go and take your team to glory. Before you go though, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment below any thoughts, feel free to check out my Football Tactics and Glory Let's Play, and subscribe for more video game content. Have a great day, and happy gaming!